Today's Snapchat research story is about how Snapchat's geofilters frame the landscape. This is Anne's idea. She's writing about landscapes and digital media in poetry.
The two features of Bergen landscape that everybody recognises are the mountains and the Bryggen skyline, or the buildings at Bryggen. Those are the two geofilters you can use to frame your photo on Snapchat.
So landscape painting actually has only been around for a couple of hundred years, right?
It's been around a little bit longer, but it really became a big thing during Romanticism. For the 18th century, wild landscapes were considered scary and ugly. We didn't think of the wilderness as beautiful until the Industrial Revolution.
So we're guessing there are some landscape paintings in the Seafaring Museum, which is right by our offices. So this is from 1657, pre-Industrial Revolution, and there's not much of an emphasis on wilderness, but you can certainly see Bryggen there and the mountain. This is completely different in style.
So it's an urban landscape, but the city almost becomes the wilderness itself.
So the frame on that romantic painting was pretty ornate too.
Yes, exactly, it was.
You were saying you'd read that they used to use frames and actually kind of hold them up to nature in order to kind of take.
So apparently people used to view wild landscapes through wireframes to make it more safe or aestheticized.
Here's our paper version of a wireframe to look at Ulriken. A question then is whether Snapchat's geofilters and framing actually have some of the same function of changing the landscape. Tourism also emerged in the 19th century.
Yes, and with tourism, we are often sold the landscape with its distinguishing features as. So in the case of Bergen, that would be Bryggen skyline and the mountains around the city.
Let's go down to the library to see if we can find that book and if the wireframe thing is actually true. There's the book.
Up until the 17th century, travellers were advised to keep their coach blinds drawn while traversing the region so as not to be shocked by its ugliness and wildness. So appreciating nature and wilderness was not something that emerged in the countryside, it emerged in the cities.
We can't find the wireframes in Dubourg. Maybe it's from somewhere else. Thinking the geofilters in Snapchat might fulfill some of the same function as the frame. It kind of tames the world around us. It's a new geofilter.
Oh, brilliant, and that's mountains as well.
Actually, an old one, but it came back.